You found the button.
Oh, I found the button. I got the button right. We're in. I'm a little bit pumped today, and I'm just going to get it all out and I'll say hello to everybody. Thank you, Alan, for joining us today, because it's really important that you're here for quite a few reasons, which we'll get into a little bit. But to say that my heart is full right now is an understatement. To say that life is an amazing opportunity when we get involved in it is an understatement. It is time to reconnect. It is time to bridge the gap, and the time is now, and it all starts with a smile. We together are creating the opportunities that are bringing us back together, and I'm so excited about that. How are you, Shorty?
Oh my gosh, full. Just bursting with love, bursting with just the connections from yesterday. It's just like, like we succeeded on so many different levels. We connected on so many different levels, and we'll get into it shortly. But it was just, and you know what? And it was all because of this guy in the red shirt on with us today. Right there. None of it wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for you, Al.
Thank you very much, guys.
You know, from that conversation, like I think, Shorty, I think you I'd like to introduce you to Scott.
What have I created?
I said, why? He goes, oh, you work it out, but you're very similar. Thank you.
I'm forever grateful that you did do that, Alan. And today you're here because I want you to witness what you've achieved. I want you to feel what you've done. By creating the Campfire Project and the We Together movement, it is far beyond anything that I think you would have felt. And I want to share those stories with you today, because this is my thanks to you.
Thank you.
The fact you can't walk today makes me even happier. So I am going to ask you to share your story first with how you went.
Oh, well, I had a couple of meetings in the morning, got those out of the way. Then I got out and did my walk. And I got to around about the 9.5K point and decided I'd do a Facebook Live, because I've seen you guys have been doing the Facebook Live through the day. And did the Facebook Live and then started to move. And as soon as I did, I'd actually turned my the GPS tracker off, did the Facebook Live, cramped up. And then from there, I couldn't move and forgot to turn the tracker back on. So the most painful kilometre of the whole journey, I didn't actually measure. So I wasn't impressed. But when I did remember to put it back on, finally got home. The only real conversation I had was the legs froze up at one point, and this young lady who was about to go across the road at the time stopped and came to make sure I was okay. So that's the only conversation. So it was a case of not me talking to people to see if they were okay. It was a case of them saying, "Are you okay?"
Beautiful.
I did have a couple of guys who walked past me, and I was leaning up against one of the telegraph pole and trying to stretch the calves, and they're egging me on to go, "You can push it over. You can push it over. Come on, put more effort into it." It's like, "Come here and help me, guys. I reckon between the five of us, we'll be able to get it done." But I think around about just over 11K without the section I'd lost. So
brilliant. And how many Ks do you reckon you can do today?
I've never had my calves talk to me as much in my life. But they're not talking, they've been screaming right through the night as well.
I'd like to say that I'm sorry about that, but I'm not. I want to say thank you. I love it. I love it. And listen, and thank you for that, because there's a little comment that's coming right now, and I just want to throw it up because it's very true. communication and connection, or connection and communication. That's what we're about. All three of us are about this, about bringing people together and talking about things. So I just really want to thank Nick for that. And I'm going to open up.
I'd like to just throw in there, if I can, is that I would have given up a long way earlier on that if I'd just been walking for myself. But it was knowing the work that you guys were doing and knowing there were so many other people out there doing it as well. And I know you were after, 1,200 kilometres. And so with that, I thought, right, my little bit's not really much, but I've got to add to it. So I really honour both of you guys and everybody else who got into the walk as well.
Yeah.
Done a great thing.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. And if it's okay, Shorty, can I go quickly now? Because I just want to say thank you to everyone that did walk yesterday. Angela Heiser and Westmoreland. I'm going to miss people, but I apologise for that.
Mick.
But just Mick and Drewy, Arnie Shaz, a lot of people from the Campfire Project got around behind us and actually did it. But yesterday was one of the most profound days of my life. I walked around yesterday and I was lucky enough to have two supporters where we started walking in my community, because I'm a big believer we start in our communities. We do our things in our immediate community and then we expand. And so I started in my community and walked around here twice and then took off down towards the city. And what happened from there, they're just a pair of socks, yeah? But they're not. Yesterday, I'm walking around Melbourne and the harshest lockdowns in the world. Telling people those black dots are our dark days. This is our sunshine. It's our community getting around each other. Because our dark days are journeying between years, so let's start talking about them. I had Mick O'Toole join me for 20Ks. It's the furthest he's ever done. I had Drewy, a man who last year was suicidal, that I had the opportunity to work with and spend time with, do 40 kilometres with me yesterday. 40 kilometres that we had conversations by simply thanking people for doing their best. With a smile. My conversations yesterday ranged from, I'm doing it really tough today, thank you so much, I really appreciate the smile. What are you up to today? I'm out riding because I can't handle being inside the four walls anymore. Half an hour conversation. To a man whose son's suicidal and he didn't know where to turn. To a woman who was sitting there just in a world of pain from her relationship's not working right now. To a kid who fell off his bike and was crying. So we gave him a sticker and I had one little junior pair of socks. Then I chased him as he rode off. Through to a woman who is bipolar and she walks around with weights in her arms, and Gav, GM Pest Solutions, has his socks, has his GM Pest Solutions branded socks. That he walked up to her and said, listen, I see you around a lot. I'm sorry I haven't talked to you, but I really want to give you these. She broke down tears. Thank you so much for seeing me. I've got bipolar. I don't know how to talk to people. We touched the hearts of well over 150 people just by walking around saying thank you. We're worth this. We're worth this opportunity. We're worth reconnecting. It's not all bad. Just need a smile. A man who last year didn't want to be here was walking with me, gifting his heart and filling other people's hearts by saying thank you. And a pair of socks. A pair of socks changing people's worlds. It's time to reconnect. It's time to bridge the gap, and that time is now. And it all starts with a smile. And Alan, you touch these people by creating this. I need you to feel this impact because it's beautiful. I have so many stories from yesterday, from a guy sitting on a park bench that had just been, there's no trains, he caught the bus, it's on the wrong stop, he doesn't quite know where it is, so we sat with him for 20 minutes to figure out what was going on. Thank you so much for what you're doing today. Steve, thank you for talking to me. I'm like, dude. 10 hours of just gifting love and giving it to one another. The two blokes I walked with just connected, had conversations about what was going on in their lives, and they grew because we spent time together. Thank you so much. You know, like, I love what I do. I love being part of the campfire. I love the support that we give each other. I love what we do from the heart. It's unconditional. I'm so grateful for it. Everybody who donated socks for us to give away, to give to people, is involved in that connection. And that connection is so heartfelt. Joy couldn't believe the conversations. There was a young lady and a man who had a 2-month-old baby that had a lot of difficulty with the baby and spent a lot of time in ICU. And they were fighting with each other because of the pressure and the pain, sitting in the park, trying to work things out. Here's a pair of socks. We all have dark days. Thank you so much for seeing us today. I said you're welcome. Come and be a part of the Campfire Project. Come and be a part of the business of smiles so that you can feel the safety. You can find the people you need to talk to, because we can talk when we've got a safe place to do it. I'm so grateful for everything at the moment. I really am. Jordy, can you take it for a minute? Please, guys, just dry up a little bit.
Totally. And it was a beautiful day. The conversation was phenomenal. Like, the connections that we made and the smiles on people's faces, it was like, and what I realized was that a classic example was that, like, giving a pair of socks is like, they actually, a lot of the times, for those who had masks on, pulled it down and just smiled because they wanted to show you their smile. And it's just like, it's like, boom, heart explosion. And I remember talking with one lady I got my little coffee this morning. She goes, "Oh, that's a little one, isn't it?" I said, "Yeah." We started a conversation, and I said, "Where are you off to today?" She said, "I'm meeting up with a friend." And she goes, "What are you doing?" I said, "I've got something for you." And I got a pair of socks out and I handed for her, and we started talking about the sock story. She goes, "Wow, that is beautiful." She goes, "You know what? My granddaughter needs this. She's 18, 19, and she needs this right now." And then that just opened up a conversation, and it was just like such a connection right there. Like, never met this lady before, but boom, opened up and just really connected. You know, I was on the beach up on 7 Mile Beach, and there was no one there. And the ranger came up, the local Ballina ranger, in his car. And I pulled him over, and I just got out a pair of socks, and I just said, "Mate, I just want to say thank you." He goes, "What for?" I said, "Just for showing up today, just for being you." And we had a beautiful conversation. Great name. His name was James too. And it was just beautiful, just that connection. He goes, "Oh, mate, can I get a photo of you?" Jumps out, does a snap, but goes, "I'm going to get this message out. This is an awesome message. You guys rock." And then coming back, and there's 3 young boys from the surf. They just got out of the surf. I said, "How was the surf?" He goes, "Oh, we just saw a shark, so we thought we'd better get out." I went, "Oh, probably a good choice." And started a conversation with it. These guys would still have their surfboards and their wetsuits, and I shared the sock story. And, "Oh, dude, that's sick, bro." So I gave them 3 pair of socks, and they went, "Oh, mate, that's just epic. I love that. That's so cool." And we had a chat around that. And then coming into Ballina, I thought, I'm going to do this. So I walked into the police station, and there was 2 constables behind the desk. I had to keep the mask on, trying to talk behind the mask. And I just said, "Guys, today I'm sharing some smiles. And I know it's not all sunshines and roses and unicorns, what you're going through right now. We all go through dark days. I shared the sock story. And I said, I just want to say thank you. Thank you, because I know you guys have dark days too. And here's 4 pairs of socks. I'm going to leave them here with you. Have an amazing day. And they were like, whoa. I don't think anyone has said thank you and connected like that before to them. And these are just some of the many conversations that we're having yesterday. It was just like, oh, you know, and getting photos sent like Muzz and Ange Pa, like doing their walk and Angela doing her walk. It's just like just getting all this beautiful feedback and your posts, like it's just getting this beautiful feedback of people out there sharing smiles and connecting. It was absolutely amazing. And coming and seeing the kids down at Sharps Beach and like just once again, it's just so much heart energy was being on display yesterday and today, and hopefully every day moving forward. So I just want to say thank you for everyone for joining in, you know, wherever you are, because you've all had a massive impact by watching this, by hearing Scott and I and Al and buying a pair of socks or just going for a walk but just turning up. Thank you. Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
I love that, Shorty. And I just going to the police at the minute. Like, they are doing it tough. They are. They're tired. They're exhausted. They're at the point where they're hurting. You know, because they're copping all of our fears because we unleash. After you did that, you shared that with me that you spoke to the local police station. I saw 2 local coppers go into a coffee shop, and I walked in, gave them both a pair of socks. Exactly the same. Thank you so much for what you're doing right now. We all have dark days.
And that's one of the things that I think a lot of us forget as well, is that they're going through the same stuff. They're part of the community. They're in lockdown as well, but they're also getting the pressures of the work they're doing, because everybody who's in lockdown doesn't want to be in lockdown and blames them as well. So they're actually, in a lot of cases, going through even more again. So it's stopping and thinking about the other person and the situation that they're in and having a bit more compassion. I think we'd actually change the way that we feel about ourselves as well, if we can show that compassion towards other people.
I really want to grab that, Alan. I want to say thank you for that, because we're all part of one community. The local policeman, the local teacher, the local lawyer, local baker, the local drug addict, the local drug dealer, the kids in the schools, the crossing ladies, the parliamentarians, the council workers, the garbos, the painter, the plumber, the electrician, the office worker, the accountant, the supermarket attendant. We are all part of one community. And only when we see ourselves as one community can we really become what we need to become, which is just kind, peaceful, grateful. Because everybody is doing their best right now. Everybody. And I just can't thank people enough for that right now. Because we're all worth it. That's what I love. I love it. And all we need to do in order to bring it back to connection is smile. If you want to have big conversations, come to the Campfire Project. We're happy to have them. But when it comes to the little stuff, just smile. You don't know what someone's going through. And yesterday I learned more, that we're all going through stuff. Every single one of us. And I'm just so grateful to everybody who supported us. I'm grateful for everybody who walked yesterday. I'm grateful for everyone who buys a pair of socks for us to gift to people to make a difference. You know, like 2 guys yesterday, I have to share this. So Mick and Drew, I can't believe how amazing they were. But the thing that was the most impressive was the way in which they learned how to connect with people by gifting them socks. Because it can be a little bit uncomfortable approaching people you don't know. By the end of the day, Julie, who doesn't want to talk to anybody, he's come through and he's gifting people and he's working it out and he's feeling how that connection works. takes practice to be able to do this. Right now, as we will be coming out of the opportunity of lockdown, we're going to need to learn to reconnect. We're going to learn to have to talk to each other. So gift each other a smile. Gift each other the best thing you can give each other, a smile. I'm just, Shorty, I love you with all my heart. The support and strength that you give me because of what we're doing. And we're sitting here and I'm working through this, why we're not getting more people involved, why are not, and we're making too much noise. We just have to do what we do. Yesterday was a huge success. We didn't make it from Sydney to Melbourne, but we had an impact beyond what I could see what we would have. I'm so damn grateful for that. Alan Stevens, be a very proud man today, mate. You've touched the hearts of so many people, all because you chose to support two men. You chose to stand by two men and give them a chance.
Oh, well, as you know, I'm a good profiler.
That's to be determined. It depends on how bad we get.
Well, at least I'm living up to my other reputation and that, because when people do the work that I do and they start doing profiling, I've been called Dr. Frankenstein because I create monsters, and what you guys are creating is a monster. It's making a big impact. But see, you may not have got the 1,200 kilometres yesterday, but what you did get, as you said, you've now got an understanding of what the run to Melbourne is really going to bring. What you think you created yesterday, it was huge. It's nothing in comparison. It's just going to keep growing and growing. And it's not just going to finish with that walk either, because everybody who's learning from this, they're going to take that into their future as well. And we know that those that, you've got to highlight yesterday, people struggling on coming forward and actually having those conversations. It is going to be the biggest challenge that we have when lockdown's over, is people being able to reconnect again. And it is going to take a bit. And I hope from what you did yesterday, this video, and what you're doing in early next year, is a reminder to everybody that what is possible and the power of it and the need for it, so that they get over that fear of reconnecting.
I just want to say thank you, but I want to put this comment up because thank you, Nicholas. Because it's the one thing I've realised in everything. Your smile's made it further than you'll ever know. That's the real reality of everything, But today we've brought Alan on to say thank you to him for what he's done, because I want him to feel the impact that he's had. With the impact that we have, we'll never know. But it's just so important. And it's just so important that we just keep coming from a place of love and just support. I'm so damn proud of that. What a success.
Everyone you spoke with yesterday, they're going to have conversations with the people around them as well.
Yeah.
Like that mother talking about her daughter. Others just talking about, these crazy guys came up to me yesterday and they gave me these socks. Those conversations will keep going. Yeah. That's the whole thing. It's like a snowball. You let it start rolling, it starts to, the impact keeps growing. But it's something we need to be reminded along the way as well. And you guys need to celebrate this on a regular basis.
Thank you. And that's the one thing that I feel Shorty and I do really well, is because we do make sure that we're on top of each other in that aspect and celebrate each other, because it's so important, right? Because when you're doing this stuff, and both Shorty and I have sat here and gone, are we nuts? What are we doing this for? Like, it's, we're doing it because, it's the right thing to do. Yeah, but like, it's taking us away from other projects. And it's like,
but you have to ask that question.
Yeah, well, that's true. That is so true, isn't it? But it's
So true.
I'm going to ask you, Shorty, what was the one thing you took away from yesterday, above and beyond everything else, that you'll take going forward?
The impact, and and Nicholas hit the nail on the head, right? Is your smile's made it further than you'll ever know. And those conversations will have an impact more than we'll ever know. Those connections will have an impact more than we ever know. And then reconfirming what Alan said is it is becoming a snowball. Like the more we get out there, the more we gift socks, the more we hand socks out, the more we have these conversations, the more smiles that we're having. Like that's that thing, right? And that's, for me, that's the social proof of seeing that sparkle in someone's eye, seeing that they've been heard, seeing that they've been connected and being acknowledged. That's like, we're on this mission. Like this mission, it's bigger than us. We are part of it, of spreading the word, but this mission is huge, and that's why the whole, as we together, we can't do this ourselves, Scott, but by coming together and doing it, the impact is just going to be tenfold. And that's what I took away, just that social proof that we don't know how far this can go. We don't know how big this can go, but we know what we did yesterday had and will have a continually everlasting impact on those people who we touched, we communicated, we acknowledge. And that's just a drop in the ocean, but which is exciting because it's a bloody big ocean that we're about to swim.
I love it. I just love it. You know, and it is a big ocean that we're having a crack at. But just, if it's okay, Shorty, I just want to put up a comment. Bloody hell, Scott Carson, just made me think of something I need to do to help the collective, even though I don't have time. I love that. But here's the thing. It's a we together. If everybody stays in their genius and supports one another, it allows us to do what we can do so that we can all do what we do together, because we need more socks to make a bigger impact. You don't have the time, you might have the money. Buy some socks, allow us to gift them to people. Let us share them, teach us. Help us teach us how to reconnect. Help us teach each other how to reconnect. Sawu Bona. I live by Sawu Bona. It means I see you in Zulu. I see you. Yesterday I walked around everywhere and all I did was see people. I see you right now. Thank you so much for being you. Thank you so much for doing your best right now. My number one takeaway from yesterday was the fact that we need to see each other. Just appreciate each other. Help us, help you, help our community. We are all one. And this is the beautiful thing. We can all touch each other by doing our own genius. It's about supporting one another and taking those little things that we do each and making the bigger picture together. Together. If you like what we do, if you feel what we do, jump on our website, go to our shop, buy some socks, donate them for us to gift to people. It's amazing, the feeling. You are a part of this. By supporting us, you are supporting your community. You are supporting one another. You're gifting yourself some love. I'm just so grateful. I'm sorry, I'm just keep coming back to it, but I am. But we also need you. We also need you to do this because we're worth it together. Yeah. Alan, after hearing all of that, how does that sit?
How does it feel? It feels absolutely fantastic. As you said, it's we together. Okay, I may have started things, but it only keeps going because of everybody who's involved, and that's what makes me really proud of the whole thing. And be careful, mate; you'll get me tearing up too. But I know what the potential could be. That's why the campfire started in the first place. I knew that we had a need. I knew what could be done. With what I could see over the horizon, well beyond where a lot of other people could see, I just realised the potential. For this to come out of it, though, I hadn't actually seen that. So to have this happen as well, it goes beyond what I'd actually planned. So therefore, it happened because of the people in the group. It happened because of you guys. You're being able to keep doing more because of the support of Angela and the others and that who are behind you. So everybody needs to take acceptance. I know everyone says to me, okay, Alan, you're going to stand up and take this, the accolades and everything goes. But I take those accolades along with you guys taking them at the same time. That means more to me again as well, when everybody takes recognition of what they've done. I only did 11 kilometres. 11 and a bit if I can fudge the other little bit that I missed out on. But others may have done less, others may have done more. But everybody has contributed, and that's what it's all about. As I said, hashtag we together. I want to see that get out into the wider community. I want more people to know about it. I want more people to know what you guys are doing, what other people in there are doing. People that have got the courage to come in and tell their one-on-one stories. And the change that's had in their lives. So, Scott, you're a bastard. You got me tearing up. But it's, I am really proud, not only of having started this myself, but I'm really proud of everybody who's in the group. And I have so much love for all of you because it never would have happened without all of you. So thank you.
You got me, you bastard.
Got me.
You got me too. But it's... I do just want to reiterate something there, and it's the Campfire Project, the difference it's making, the support and love that comes from this place continually. It really does. Like conversations this Thursday night, we're having a conversation about fatherhood with people who know the importance of it and know how to get beyond the normal relationship and really fill our hearts so that we feel it and live like this. And to every single person I've met inside the Campfire Project, thank you so much, because you all have an impact. The amount of people that have just been so supportive, Karen Shaston, Rose Davidson, Jerome Lamar, Kenny Monroe, Arnie Shaz, Kylie Hutchinson, Angela, it's just so, Heather Joy Bassett. This doesn't happen without you, and it's consistent. Both the Business and Smiles and the Campfire Project are changing the world by being present, by listening, by gifting each other our most valuable gift, us. I don't know where to go, Shorty. Take over for a minute.
So there have been a couple of messages on where do I get the socks. You can still get the socks. We've still got heaps of socks over at ihopeyouaresmiling.com. You can go and get them over there, ihopeyouaresmiling.com. This is not the end, right? This is just a beginning of multiple things. So keep connected, keep following, keep reaching out. We're here to help. We would like to, so we can help and serve, reach out and buy a pair of socks, gift a pair of socks. It's a beautiful journey. So thank you everyone for following the journey, being part of the journey, and come on the journey even more. Alan, Scott, I love you both. Thank you so much for being who you are and bringing this into the world. So thank you guys.
Thank you. Can I just add on that as well, that a lot of people might be listening to this and going, I didn't know about the run, or I missed out on the run yesterday. What can I do? Well, tell people about you heard the story about the socks. Share that with people as well. Not only get a pair of socks, but share the story with people. Talk to them about the business of smiles. Talk to them about the Miles for Smiles runs and everything else. Tell them about what's going on here. Tell them about the Campfire Project and the We Together initiative. The more people who know about that, because mainstream media is not going to share it. It doesn't fit into their criteria. So that being the case, the only way the message is going to get out is if everybody who's listening to this talks about what's going on, because this is how we change. And this is how a person might say, well, I've just, how's that going to help? Well, the thing is that when people have a voice, other people will listen. And you don't know who the person is that you're speaking to, and you don't know who that message may get onto further down the track. The more that we talk about what you guys are doing, what everybody else in the Campfire Project is doing, what the We Together movement's all about, the initiative, I won't use a movement, it's more an initiative than anything else. Get behind that, tell people about it, and this is how we then start to change. It not only changes other people, but also changes us when we start talking about this as well. It anchors it inside of us. So thank you guys for everything you're doing. And thank you to everybody else who's listening to this and everybody who's been part of it or even thinking about being part of it. Come and join us.
I love it. Thank you, Alan. And do come and join us, people. Like, Smilligan t-shirts, right? They're also available. And I gift yourself one. Walk around the street with this on your. People are smiling before they get to you. I live this life, and I'm so grateful that I do. Shorty, I love you. Alan, I love you. I can't believe how important you both are to me. You know, I've never, ever met Shorty. I've never met him. And look at the impact we're having right now. Anything is possible. We can reconnect in any situation. I'm just so grateful to every single one of you that's a part of this journey. I hope you are smiling. Thank you, Alan. Thank you, Shorty. I'm going to try and find the button to finish the broadcast. But yeah, I can't wait to see what we do. This is it's the start of something magical that we are all a part of, every single one of us. So thank you very much. Thanks, Shorty. Thanks, Alan. Have a fantastic day, people. All right, take care. Bye for now.
See you guys later. Bye now.
Where is it?